All right, Jesse on Fire. Let's talk about Kevin Holland, because I have said a lot of things about Kevin Holland on this channel. A lot. All complimentary. I think without exception. I love Kevin Holland. I think he's a superstar. And today he said he's retiring. And I'm like, are you? Are you sure? Are you sure you're retiring? Because I'm going to say this right now. Look, I think he's got a long career ahead of him. I think he's a superstar. I don't believe him. I don't believe he's retiring. There is one question to ask. Does he actually believe that he's retiring? That's my question. Does he actually believe it, or is he just doing a thing? How many times have these guys said they're retiring? A lot. A lot of times they think they actually are, and I'll give you examples as such. But lots of the times they don't. And in this case, I actually don't know, and I'll tell you what it's hinging on, right? I'll tell you exactly what is going on, son. But check this out. I forgot about Unique's channel, and I saw a video about something or other that Unique posted, and I was like, what have I been doing? Why is YouTube not suggesting Unique to me anymore? Because listen here. Kevin Holland says that Brendan Schaub is the reason he is going to retire, and I know for 100% sure that Kevin Holland will not retire, because if he does, he will have to see Brendan Schaub everywhere he goes, and that will make retirement so painful that he will definitely tap out and come back to the UFC. And also, Floyd Mayweather is saying that he wants to fight Conor McGregor, and that is not because he has money problems, as Jesse's going to say in a future video he does today. He's on him on ball bearings. Okay, so, yeah, here's the other thing. I'm going to do a video about Floyd Money Mayweather, because I think he's got money problems. I think it's Floyd money problems right now. And it's relevant. I'm just going to mention that in this video, right? Just real quick. I'm just going to mention that. And then in this next video, I'm going to talk about that. But let's talk about someone who does not have money problems right now, because that's Kevin Holland. Now, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. Do it. Tell all your friends, you know? But yeah, he... Actually, you know what? Just in the comments, tell me what you think of that Unique voice. And also tell me if you know who Unique is. Because if you don't, that's probably pretty weird. You're like, what's he doing? Anyway, okay, so here's the deal. So Kevin Holland announced his retirement right here. Okay. Yep. He said, had a good run, 30 in a little over a month, got paid, I'm out. Yeah, to be 29 again. So here's the thing. The way he posted that makes me think it's possible that he is being serious, you know? Because here's what I would hypothesize, right? I see people post things and I see people say things, and I ask myself, why? Why did he say that thing, right? Like I said in my video about Dana, if you haven't watched it, the Dana life expectancy one that I think is important for people to watch. I said, why would he say the thing about the news about his life expectancy? Like, why would he announce that publicly? You know? Now, in many cases, there's not any deep strategy to it. There's just something, just think. Like Kevin Holland, think. How close to UFC 279 are we? Right? A couple weeks. So this seems like it would probably be right around the time that bonus checks would come through, or just maybe checks in general. And so I think what just hit his bank account is probably an enormous sum of money, right? For him, like enormous, probably enormous for most people, but like enormous for him for sure. Where it was like, oh, you normally make this, but hey, we're going to cut you in on the co-main event. We're going to give you XYZ. Who knows what they did to get him to take that Hamzat fight. And he probably just got the check, And so now he's probably looking at that check and he's considering fighting for what he normally makes and thinking, maybe not, maybe not. Let's just throw numbers out, right? Let's say he just had, because also you got to keep this in mind, he's a 1099 employee. As a matter of fact, Kevin Holland, if you see this video, which is probably unlikely, but every time I say that, they end up seeing it. Kevin Holland, if you see this video, I cannot stress this enough, okay? When you see the tax man at the end of the year and you made $275,000 in a year, call it $350,000 in a year, there's a lot of ways you can dance around the tax liability in terms of like, okay, what'd you spend money on? And a lot of stuff that you spent money on can be written off as business expenses as a 1099 employee or as an independent contractor. Let's say hypothetically you just got a check for 1.2 million, you know, just as an example. Let's just use 1.2 million as an example. You are not going to be able to find realistic write-offs for a lot of that money unless you're going to go out and buy a lot of shit, okay? You're going to owe hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes on that. Keep that in mind, park it in a bank account, and just forget that you have it, okay? I would suggest putting $500,000 of that into an account and just go la, 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 and you don't even have it because you're going to pay it out, right? So there's that. Now, what do you have left? Okay, now you still want to retire? What do you have left? Okay, let's say you got 2 million. You got to bump that 500 up to 800, like just to be safe. You still want to retire? I'm just asking. You still want to retire? New big money comes with new big tax liability. It's a tough look at, like, you know, like I said, to be 29 again. There was a time I didn't know that. I didn't understand that. You want to know how people learn that lesson if they're not, like, you know, kind of well buttoned up people to begin with, which I definitely am not? The hard way. The fucking hard way, dude. It's a hard lesson to learn, especially if you just got a very large, abnormally large check, because this is just a universal truth, okay? So if you're a person who's never had more than, let's say, $4,000 in a bank account, once you get 50,000 or I don't know, 35,000 in your account, okay, it feels good, right? But guess what? Now 35,000 feels like your baseline. When you get down to 15,000, you're like, Jesus, I'm running out of money. Where that's 3 times more than you'd ever had before. And then you get 100,000 in the bank, and you're like, all right, cool. Now right around 100,000 feels like your baseline, where you're like, you know, if you get down to where you got like 60 grand in your account, you're like, fuck, dude. I got to figure out a way to make more money. Like I'm running out of cash here. It's like, dude, you got 60 grand in your fucking accounts, whatever. Yeah. Okay. Well, I had 120 a second ago, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. That's what I always tell people that have never had, like, that have never had any money in the bank. It's like, just let it sit there for a little bit. Okay. Let it sit there for a month. Just get used to how it feels to have that money in the bank. And I'm telling you right now, you will like the feeling of having that money in the bank more than the feeling of whatever the fuck else you were going to buy. I promise you that. No one is a more impulsive spender than me, dude. But I like the money better. I like the feeling of logging into my account and seeing numbers more than I like. You have any idea how much I like watches? You have any fucking idea how much I like watches? The thing is, the watches I like are very, very expensive. Very expensive. Now, could I afford to buy a bunch of watches that I really, really like? Of course. But I don't. I have one expensive watch. One. Now, will I ever buy another one? Not if I'm at the current, point being, save it. Don't fucking spend it. Just at least for a little while. Don't fucking spend it, Kevin Holland. You'll like the money in the bank. But nonetheless, I'm going to guess that the money he got is probably not enough to actually retire. And that's a thing that people don't seem to understand in many cases, because they say they're retired and then they come back, right? Say they're retired and then they come back. Misha Tate comes to mind, you know? Misha Tate comes to mind, and I only bring that one up because she won the belt. She defended the belt, or at least fought. I can't remember if she defended it or if she just fought one time. No. Yeah, she only fought with it one time to Amanda, and then Amanda beat her, right? And then she retired, right? She retired. It's like, dude, she got back in on a pay-per-view, got a 7-figure payout. And for a few years there, she was chilling. She's probably doing some commentating, whatever. And then, like, and I'm not talking shit about fucking Misha. I'm saying, like, this is the way the world works. You get some money in the bank, you think it's retirement time, and it's not. So Kevin Holland, I would say what you should be thinking right now is, you have the potential to be a big enough star to where you can make that much money fucking every single time you fight, pretty much. You can be a Nate Diaz. Like, you can be a Nate Diaz level star. I really honestly believe that. And also, do the thing where you're not fucking worried about the belt. Figure out a way where people are, like, hooked on what you're doing all the time, to where every time you fight, no one you know what I mean? Don't chase the belt. Listen to Nate. You can have a long career. You can get to where you're making fucking $750 a fight or whatever, or, you know, I mean, who knows? I don't know. I don't have any idea. I have no idea what what's a realistic number. But congratulations on that new money, dog. congratulations. When you hit a new tier, I can't stress this enough. And I got plenty of tiers to go. I'm not fucking... But when you hit a new tier, it feels good, good, good. I'm telling you that. There's nothing feels better than money in the bank, dude. Nothing. Nothing in the world feels better than money in the bank. Nothing. There's no car. There's no watch. There's no fucking house. Nothing feels better than just looking in your fucking account and seeing the money there. Anyway, that's what I got. Love you guys. Congratulations, Kevin Holland. He's not really retiring. Peace.